Good evening, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng attended the 148th meeting of Menteri Besar and Chief Ministers at the Parliament building on Tuesday. This session was chaired by Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim and focused on strengthening federal-state cooperation. The meeting commenced at 2:30 p.m. and included Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Amar Fadilah Yusof and Sabah Chief Minister Dato' Sri Hajiji Noor. In a media statement, the Prime Minister confirmed discussions address public welfare to ensure administrative decisions result in tangible benefits for the people. The meeting was also attended by several cabinet ministers, namely Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq, Higher Education Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir and Health Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad. Menteri Besar from Perlis, Kedah, Terengganu, Negeri Sembilan and Perak, alongside the Chief Minister of Penang, were also in attendance. On to world news, convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell is offering to break silence, but only if US President Donald Trump grants her clemency. The proposal comes after Maxwell repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment during a House Oversight Committee deposition on Monday, refusing to answer questions regarding disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. Appearing via video link from a Texas prison, the 64-year-old former socialite repeatedly declined to disclose her role in Epstein's global trafficking network.
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Maxwell's legal team says she is sitting on the unfiltered truth regarding powerful figures, including former President Bill Clinton. Her attorney, David Marcus, says she is prepared to prove their innocence, but says the public will only hear that account if the president intervenes in her 20-year sentence.
Only she can provide a complete account, and some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to hear that explanation. Thank you.
This drama unfolds as Congress gains access to unredacted Justice Department files under the newly passed Epstein Files Transparency Act. Representative Thomas Massey claims to have identified 6 men likely incriminated in the files, including a high-ranking foreign official and billionaire Lex Wexner. Meanwhile, the Oversight Committee has summoned Bill and Hillary Clinton to testify as public pressure mounts for full disclosure regarding Epstein's enablers. An environmental watchdog recently identified Malaysia as the main destination for US electronic waste and advocates there have long urged the Malaysian government for stronger action. The report estimates that American shipments of the hazardous materials accounted for roughly 6% of total US exports to the Asian nation between 2023 and 2025. And courtesy of RT, we can hear from research consultant and environmental governance Wong Pui Yi about the situation. For decades, China was the main destination for recyclable waste from around the world.
We don't have the exact reasons why they chose Malaysia, but overall, a lot of the waste that are being sent for recycling was sent to China for over 30 years. All sorts of solid waste, including textiles, plastic, electronics, paper.
But much of the waste arriving was difficult or impossible to recycle, forcing China to tighten its controls.
So the Chinese government announced to the world that it's too difficult to control, and they banned 24 different types of solid waste imports in 2018, and then they slowly increased it to 32 with additional 32 types, and finally in 2021 they banned all types of solid waste imports.
With China no longer an option, recyclers began searching for new destinations.
A lot of the Chinese recyclers came to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, Myanmar, Indonesia, Philippines, and a big chunk of the e-waste processors came to Malaysia. We are very close to China. We have a Mandarin-speaking community. We have access to low-cost labor.
But the rapid growth of the industry has raised deeper concerns, particularly over labor practices and enforcement gaps that may have allowed illegal operations to flourish.
Unfortunately, a lot of them are undocumented and vulnerable people who would not make too much complaints. And a problem that we are realizing recently is that corruption is probably play a role in enabling this smuggling to continue for so long.
Malaysia's third littoral combat ship, the Sharif Mashur, has been officially launched at the Lumut Naval Shipyard today. The ceremony was officiated by Tuan Datuk Patinggi Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi and witnessed by the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar. The vessel's name honours the 19th century ruler of Serikei, remembered for his bravery and strategic leadership during the Brooke era. The launch was marked by a symbolic engine order telegraph simulation and the sounding of the ship's foghorn. As a tribute to the ship's namesake, a traditional Iban Parang Ijang was presented during the ceremony. The generational weapon symbolizes defense and security and will remain on board the Sharif Mashur as a permanent emblem of the vessel. Sarawak authorities are calling for public restraint as the High Court deliberates on the Petronas Judicial Review case. Deputy Minister in the Premier's Department Law MA63 and State Federal Relations, Dato' Sharifah Hasidah Said Aman Ghazali, says the legal process must run its course without external interference or public speculation. She stressed that the official next steps will only be determined once a formal verdict is reached.
Biar proses mahkamah berlaku sampai habis. Baru kita tahu apa keputusan mahkamah. Dari situ kita boleh lihat apa tindakan susulan yang boleh kita rancang untuk kita ambil.
Sharifah Hasidah also characterized federal-state relations as fundamentally strong, citing the cooperative partnership between the Premier and the Prime Minister. While acknowledging recent emotional debates in Parliament over oil resource jurisdiction, she described such differences as a normal part of political discourse.
Of course, there are differences of opinions, there are issues here and there, but at the end of the day, I think our leaders are prudent people. What's important is we put the interests of the country first, the interests of Sarawak first. I think this is, at the end of the day, that's what matters. But I'm sure the experience of our leaders, the wisdom of our leaders, they can navigate complications and issues and problems, I think.
The case involves 5 Petronas subsidiaries seeking to quash financial penalties issued under the Gas Distribution Ordinance 2016. The subsidiaries face 8 penalty notices totaling 120 million ringgit for operating in Sarawak without the required licenses. The High Court has scheduled March 2nd for the next case management.
Welcome back. A 16-year-old student will spend the next 3 years behind bars for the repeated rape of a 14-year-old classmate. A Kuching magistrate's court handed down the sentence earlier today, ordering the term to begin immediately from the date of the teenager's arrest.
The convicted youth pleaded guilty to 2 charges of rape under Section 376, subsection 1 of the Penal Code. The offences occurred in 2024 and 2025 inside a classroom at a local performing arts institution during school recess. Under the 2001 Children's Act, the magistrate ordered the teenager to be detained separately from adult prisoners and to undergo a structured educational program while incarcerated. The case resurfaced after an institution representative alerted the victim's mother, prompting an investigation that uncovered physical evidence and personal diaries detailing the encounters. Medical examinations later corroborated the assaults, while the court revealed the accused had a history of disciplinary issues and prior misconduct. Defense lawyers attempted to stay the execution pending an appeal, but the motion was dismissed by the magistrate.
The government will be introducing SPEN, a mechanism to clear convicts' criminal records under the upcoming amendment to the Registration of Criminals and Undesirable Persons Act 1969, Act 7. This bill will enable those who have completed their sentences and refrain from committing a new offence within a prescribed period from certain criminal records. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, who announced the mechanism, clarifies the SPEN is only applicable once everything is completed, include fines and compounds.
Bagi membolehkan mereka yang terlibat itu yang tidak melakukan kesalahan baru dalam tempoh munasabah. Maknanya dia telah disabit, kemudian dia merayu, ditolak, habis semua proses itu. Maka kita masukkan nama dia dalam daftar. Dan setelah dia selesai menjalani hukuman atau setelah selesai dia bayar kompaun atau denda, dan dalam satu tempoh dia tidak mengulangi kembali kesalahannya, terjenayahnya. Tempoh yang munasabah itu adalah tempoh yang kita kata bahawa dia boleh dianggap sebagai tiada rekod.
He adds that SPEN will not be applicable to convicts who committed serious crimes and is subject to several terms that will be debated during a parliament session. Several references used as reference to draft the mechanism include the best law practices in the UK, Singapore, Brunei, and Australia that have implemented such policies in their respective countries.
White papers for holistic evaluation on medical equipment were launched today by the Ministry of Health (MOH) to increase the quality of service. It's meant to strengthen the evaluation methods not just based on principle and budget constraints, but also taking into account feedback by patients and real-time data. Its Deputy Minister, Dr. Hanifah Hajar Taib, says the white papers pushes 3 elements for evaluation: evidence, value, and access, ensuring transparent, fair, and sustainable results.
This is why today's conversation is not merely about medical devices, nor is it only about assessment methodologies. It is about how we define value and for whom. Malaysia's health technology assessment ecosystem, led by MATAS, is well established, credible, and evidence-driven. It has served the country well in ensuring safety, effectiveness, and fiscal responsibility.
With the launch of the white papers, Hanifah hopes it marks as a start to more discussions and collaborations between governments, industry players, and stakeholders in developing a people-centric health system. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.